Okay, just you can go through these examples, these two examples. It's very important and very interesting. Here we are having so much of elements associated with it, and we will go one by one. Left hand side, you can see the left hand side. This is a body portion which is ended here. So in this body portion, so many division tags are used, right? I told you that a division tag is used for logical grouping of the HTML element. That's a main key features of a division. Logical grouping of the HTML elements, right? So division tag. So if you consider any HTML pages, right, at the time you are having so many elements associated with it, and for different purposes you are using those elements, right? Like in a website, you consider there is a header portion is there, and there is a footer portion is there, and there is a content, middle content is there, and some photos are there. Yes or no? Some navigation bars will be there, some advertisement tabs, or say some small advertisement these portions are there, right? These are all the elements associated with a website front page, or say website the HTML pages. So one by one we will discuss here. The one it is given here, this is a header, right? To do the header we are using a one division, and ID we are assigning for the ID the division as a header division. So here it is a header. After that, in the header you are using something like a heading groups. In the header part represent a topmost portion in the website, we will consider it as a header. Bottommost portion we will call it as a footer, and middle one it's a content pages, right? So in a header again we can have some headings are there. For the headers again we are having some headings and some navigations. What do you mean by navigation? Navigation represent you are moving from one page to the other page, or you are moving from one place of the page to the other place of the same page. Navigation represent moving from one place to the other. Just keep in mind, navigation represent moving from one place to the other place here. So again some navigations are there. After that some section, in the sense that some section represent some main content page is there. Content page, again you are having a contents are there. Again some story, you are writing some content here within the story. So again you are having some photos associated with photo, and photo caption. Photo caption represent caption is a description of the photo. Caption represent a description of the photo are there. Again some footer sections are there. Footer represent a bottom of the HTML page is a footer. These are all the contents of a HTML elements. So a sample division based XHTML layout. It's a XHTML. Left hand side is a XHTML layout. So which is filled with a division, only, right? So what happens for each, if we consider this division which is used for some specific purposes. Division you are assigned a ID, but it is used for some specific purposes. Again you are using here the division again which is used for some specific purposes. If a divisions are using for a specific purpose, so instead of a division can we use other elements? Yes, it is possible. Divisions are used for a specific purposes. If you are going with that purpose, so instead of this division can we use other something like a tags? Yes, of course it is possible, and that can be done in a HTML5. So whatever the divisions you are having the purposes, instead of using the divisions we will use other tags which achieve that purpose. This division is used for the header purpose, so header is a tag available which mean for that heading, or sorry, that header content. So here a division you are using a header, we have a header tag here in a HTML5. In a HTML5 we are having a header. So headings, if you are mentioning in a header, that H group is the tag which is used for that purposes also. And navigations, you are moving one place to the other place, navigation. Again you are using a nav tag, which is meaning for the navigation purpose. Here top navigation, left navigation you are doing. For the purpose we are using a nav tag, right? It is in a HTML5. Again, some content you are writing, right? Some broader content or say broader section if you are considering, that is meant for a section tag. Within the section or say within a main content, again you are having a sub contents associated with, that is done by the article. Main content is represented by the section tag, sub content is represented by the article. After that, and to represent an image, again you are having one division. To represent an image, again you are having one division like a story page. So to represent this division, we are having a figure tag. And a caption to write, you are having a paragraph. This representation of a caption, figure caption tag is used for representation of the caption, figure caption or a photo caption. After that, one more division you are using, and it's a aside. Aside we are using for some special purpose, I will tell you. Aside to represent some sticky notes and some small advertisement bars, that can be done by the aside. Again, in the footer you are using a division here in a XHTML. Equivalent, I am using a footer tag here, and this is a XHTML, and this is a equivalent HTML5 code to represent the XHTML. This is a XHTML code. Equivalent of that is a HTML5 code here. Here header ID, header, headings, H groups, navigation, top navigation, left navigation, whatever the navigation, NAV. Art section, a broader content is a section. Here are the section, and a smaller content to represent, here is an article. Again, a figures to represent, you are having a figure here, figure tag, right? Figure tag, and figure caption is also having figure caption. Aside you are having, here we are having a aside here. So the footers, here we are having the footers. Clear? Here we are having the footer. This is the equivalence. XHTML code is equivalent to here HTML5 code. Both are same, but here it is a easier way to do by using a HTML5. Clear? What is the header? What is the H group? We will learn one by one. This is an example. It's a very good example, and we will have the explanation of this individual tag here. So HTML5 semantic structures here. The main semantic elements you have seen are headings, paragraphs, list, and some inline elements. You also saw the other key blocks, that is namely the division you are having. Most complex websites are absolutely packed solid with the division, right? So what happens if you are developing any web pages or say website, main element you are using a division elements you are using there, in the sense that if you are designing a HTML pages, n number of division tags you are using there. Most of these are marked with a different ID or class attributes, right? Here you are having a ID, here you are having a ID, no? Here you are having a classes. Similarly, you are using the division associated with the ID and the class attributes. So n number of division tags, again n number of IDs, again n number of classes you are using to develop a single or a website or web pages. It's very confusion, right? Which ID belongs to which portion or which meaning or a purpose is very difficult to understand, right? For headings or for headers, which ID you are using, for like H groups, which ID you are using, or for figure or for image, which ID are, it is very difficult and very confusion for remembering the IDs and the classes of a division. Unfortunately, all these division elements are make the resulting mark of confusion and hard to modify. Developers typically try to bring some sense and order to division choose by using ID or classes names that provide some clues as to be their meaning, right? In the sense that what the developers, whatever the IDs you are using, in a Googles and Opera, two browsers are there, right? Developers within the browsers, what they did here, as HTML5 was being developed, researchers at a Google and Opera had their search spiders examine millions of pages to see what were the most common ID and classes names. The researchers at the Google and Opera, what they did that, they scanned millions of web pages, and after scanning, they come to the conclusion that a common ID and a common classes are used in a divisions for a specific purposes. They took that purposes and developed some other tags for that purpose. Their findings help us standardize the names of the new semantic block structure elements in a HTML5. Clear? From that examining the million web pages, they come to the conclusion that this division is used for these purposes. So for that division, they developed with a other tag. The idea behind using these elements is that your markup will be easier to understand, because you will be able to replace some division sprawl with a cleaner and more self-explanatory within the HTML5. I will give you one example. They scan these web pages in XHTML. They come to the conclusion is that this division is used for the header purpose. So they removed this division and they made it as a header, header tag here, right? In the sense that examining a millions of these like a pages, they come to the conclusion is that the commonly usable sections or say division in the XHTML web pages, and they concluded that new tags have been evolved. These are all the new tags here have been evolved within the HTML5. So header and footer. First one is the header and footer. How they are converted older header and footer to the newer header and footer within the HTML5. Most website pages have a recognizable header and footer section. Typically, the header contains a site logo, title, horizontal navigation links, and perhaps one or more horizontal banners they are having. Right? This is what we will represent for the header. Or typically footer. What the footer contains? That contains a less important material such as a smaller text versions of a navigations, copyright notices, information about the site privacy policies, and perhaps Twitter feeds or links to the other social sites, right? These are all the content of the footer. Here are all the content of the header and footer. Both HTML header and footer, HTML5 header and footer elements can be used not only for the page. See here, both in a HTML5 header and a footer elements can be used not only for a page header and footer, also for a header and footer elements within other HTML5 content such as article sections. Again, within the article section, and we can use a header and footer that is indicating here. And this is an example. We'll go with the example here. I made one example here. There it is, 3.1. So header and footer, right? I used here a header in the section. In the header, I used one image and I used one what we will call it as a heading. That's a H1 heading. This is a header I used. In a footer, sorry, I have not developed the footer. Is there any footer available? No. Footer you can develop. Just I used a header here. Similarly, footer can be used here. I'll make this as a footer, right? Control C. In the footer, just the rough footer. It is not a exact one, or say how we are developing. It is not like that. Footer, right? We have a header here and we have a footer. In the header portion, images are there, headings are there. In a header portion, images are image and heading. In a footer, like what we call copyright notices, other some links. I have not included links. Just I made a footer, and I will run it. I will run it in a Google Chrome. You can see this is like a header I considered within the header tag. Again, this is where I use a footer copywriters and all. This is regarding a footer. It's not visible properly. Just you can use a BR here, like two BR tags can be used. It's a break tag. Control S, save it. Just you can refresh it. You will see here copyrighted tag, copyrights and all you can have here in a footer. This is regarding what we'll call it as a header and footer. Now it is a heading group. Heading groups represent in a header we can have a different headings there. We can consider it as a heading groups, making it as a one group. It's a heading groups. As mentioned in the previous section, it is not that unusual for the header to contain a multiple headings in a close proximity. H groups can be used in such circumstances to group them together within a one container. Now what happens in a multiple, if you are having a multiple headings there within the header, that can be grouped by using a H group. Clear? H group element can be used in a context other than the header. For instance, one could also use a H group within the article also, right? H group represent, it's a grouping of the headings, right? If you want to group the different headings, then you can use a H group. Not only in the headers, again you can use this in articles and a section they explain here. H groups elements can only contain H1 and H2, like in the sense that it should contain headings. How can we represent headings? By using H1 to H6, right? So if you are using H groups, then it obviously it should have a H1 to H6 the headings only, right? You can consider it header, H groups, you are having a two heading groups here. Again in the article, again you can have a two headings here, right? So H groups can be used in a header and H groups can be used in a headings also. Okay, this is regarding a heading groups. Navigation. Next is a heading groups is over. Next is a navigation. What I told the navigation, moving from one place to the other places within the HTML page, or from one computer to the other computers, or say from one page of this HTML to the other page which is available in other servers and all, right? The navigation here. The nav element, or say the nav tag, you can say NAV tag, represents a section of a page that contains a links to the other page or to the other parts within the same page. In the sense that movement from one page to the other page, or movement from place from one place of a page to the other place within the same page. Like the other new HTML5 semantic elements, the browser does not apply any special presentation to this one nav. Nav element was intended to be used for a major navigation blocks, presumably the global and secondary navigation system, as well as perhaps a search facility. This can be used for a global. Global represent from one computer to the other computer in a global way, otherwise in a secondary navigation system within the computer, as well as in which is used in a search facility also. However, like all the new HTML semantic elements in the section 2.6, from the browser perspective, there is no definite right or wrong way use of a navigation, in the sense that just a nav tag we are using, but to link that we are using a anchor tag only, right? There is no right or wrong way to use navigation, but NAV if you are using, better we can include these navigation elements or say hyperlinks within the navigation tag. Its sole purpose is to make your markup easier to understand, right? If you use a nav, within the nav tag, better to use a hyperlinks, because it gives you a better meaning there, and by limiting the use of a nav elements to the major elements, your markup will more likely achieve than aim. Nav tag can be used for in other purposes. There is no right or wrong way to use, but if you use hyperlinks within the nav tag, it is better, they are telling here. Clear? This is regarding a navigation. Just we will use one example here. Navigation. Yes, here it is a navigation. You can consider here the navigation role, navigation, and here as reference 1.html, 2.html. What I made here, whether I'm not used a HTTP here. If I am not used a HTTP, in the sense that we are navigating within our domain or within our computer only, within our website only, we are navigating. H reference 1.html, H reference 2.html, right? Just you can see first and second. These are the navigations I used by using the nav, right? Where it is, yeah, the navigation. I used a nav rule navigation and this nav here. So I made here the navigation here. Two navigation I used one H reference for the 1.html, 2.html I used directly the file, because 1.html is here only and 2.html is here only. I am linking, or say I am making a hyper reference for the 1.html, 2.html. So whenever I will execute here, right, first and second I given the names for them. If I will click on a first, it will link or it will redirect to the 1.html page, right? When I click on this one, a 1.html is running here, 1.html is running. If I will make it as a second one, and 2.html will be done one, because the files is the file 1.html, 2.html are available within the same folder. Within the same folder represent which folder? I made here this folder, module 1, no? Within the same folder 1.html and 2.html. From where I am running a 1.2.html, I am running through 3.html. When I run this 3.html, I can find here, I can find first and second. When I click on a first, 1.html will run. When where I click on a second, 2.html will run. But which I am running now, it's a 3.html. From 3.html, I am calling a first and second 1.html and 2.html. That is a navigation, by using a navigation. Now next is articles and sections. I told you sections are nothing but a broader way of representation in some divisions in a HTML, and articles represent as smaller sections we are using. Sections like they given here analogous here. The book you are reading is divided into a smaller blocks of contents called as a chapters, which make this a long book easier to run. Why they made chapters? To make to read easier. Further, each chapter is further divided into sections, all of which make the content of the book easier. Again, the chapter can be divided into sections. Clear? Like it is usable for easier purpose of reading and for the management purpose also, managing the things. The new HTML5 semantic elements like a section and article, these are two tags we are using here, play a similar role within the web pages also, I told you. The section element represents a section of a document, right? A broader section of a document, typically within a title or a heading like. The article elements represent a section of a content that forms an independent part of the document, right? Like headings, like a main portion, we are representing a section. Like a sub portion which represents the data or say section content, at the time we are representing the article. Clear? These are two important points here. Section is much broader element, while the article element is to be used for the block for the content that could potentially be read or consumed independently of the other content on the pages. A page can be split into the section like introduction, contact information, details, etc. Again, articles can be used which represents the content of this introduction or content of this contact information and so on. Right? We will go with this example for the sections here. Okay, here I made this is a division of the sections and articles, right? This article data structure and algorithms, right? These two are the main subjects details. No, I made this as a one section. Remaining this one section is divided into articles, like one article for a data structure, one more article for the algorithm, right? And output of that data structure and algorithm. No? Here it's a data structure and algorithm. These are the two sections. This is a complete one section. Within the section we are having a articles. This is one article, again one more is an article of this one. Clear? Which is regarding that. Now it's a figure and a figure captions, right? As you know, figure representing something like images or say some diagrams. Okay. Screen captures or diagram or photograph or images that are separate from the text, which are described by the caption and which are giving the generic name of the figure, in the sense that just it is representing image and description of that image. That's a very important, image and description of that image. Image represent, these are all the images, and description represent explanation of that image. Explanation of that image, we will call it as a caption. Clear? Prior to HTML5, before the HTML5, web authors typically wrapped image and their related captions within a non-semantic element, that is a division. What before the HTML5, what they will do? Image and their explanation, image and caption of the image, they will wrap within the division element. Clear? After that, they are having a figure and figure caption also. In HTML5, we can instead use a figure and figure caption elements, or the tags we are using for that purposes. The figure element represents some flow content. The figure element represents some flow content, optionally with the caption. A figure, that is a tag which is using a content optionally with a caption, which can have a caption or which cannot have a caption. Caption is optional here for the figure. That is self-contained and is typically referred as a single unit from the main flow of the document, right? What is here figure and figure caption? If you are representing a figure and figure caption, this completely we are considering as a single unit. That's a single unit. Means both are wrapped together as a single unit here. The figure element should not be used to wrap every image, right? There is no necessity of wrapping, or say there is no necessity of wrapping the figure and figure caption for each and every images. For instance, it makes no sense to wrap a site logo or non-essential images such as a banner, ads and graphical embellishments with a figure, right? There is no logo itself. The logo cannot have a figure captions at all, right? Logo itself is a one image. Clear? That you can represent by using a IMG called. There is no use of a figure and figure captions. Instead, only use a figure that is a tag element for a circumstance where the image has a caption and where the figure is essentially to the content, but its position on the page is relatively unimportant, right? What happens if you use a figure? Not only the visibility, the browser will consider it as a figure and figure caption as a single unit for the next purposes, right? If you are running the JavaScript on this HTML, at the time figure and figure captions are very important here. That JavaScript file or the JavaScript program will consider that element as a figure and figure caption as a single unit. Clear? So this is an example where we used a figure can be represented here with the image. Figure caption is a conservatory found in a Central Park, right? This diagram or this figure, this image is representing, that is a centralpark.jpg. That's a file name you are given here. That is this one. And figure caption is a conservatory found in the center. That is a fact. Caption you are giving here. Caption represents a description of that image. This is the image and description of the image you are given here. Clear? That's a caption you are giving here. So this figure with the caption, they are binded as a single unit. They are binded as a single unit within the figure tag. Clear? Now it's a aside is one more thing. The aside element is used for marking up content that is separate from the main content on the page, right? We are displaying some main content there. Instead of that main content, if you want to display some highlighted notes, sticky notes or a highlighted notes within that particular pages, you are supposed to use a aside tag. The aside element represents a section of a page that consists of a content that is tangentially related to the content around the aside element. The aside element could thus be used for sidebars, pull notes, groups of advertisement images, or any other grouping of non-essential elements, right? Apart from the main content, if you are displaying anything that can be represented within aside. Just we will take one example here. See, this is a figure and a figure caption I am using. Figure is a mdg.jpg, caption we are using a Mallappa Guru as a caption we are using. And for the aside, right aside. See, this is a paragraph I want to represent. This is a paragraph I want to represent apart from the main content. These are all the main content. These are all the main contents. Apart from this, if I want to display this one, I am wrapping this within the aside tag. Clear? When I run this one, just say this is a figure and figure caption. I told figure and figure caption. Figure is this one mdg.jpg and caption is a Mallappa Guru I given. This is a aside portion. This is a aside portion. This is a aside portion, right? What is aside portion? This is a paragraph I want to represent. This is a paragraph I want to represent at the right hand side as a sticky notes, or say some important highlighted notes instead of this regular main content. Then aside you are using here. Aside you are using here. Okay, next is an introduction. Just we will stop here.